Sunday, September 24th, 2:10 p.m. New York time. Going to discuss one of the financial sectors. This will be the financial sector. It's one of the big sectors in the United States financial markets. It's actually the top three largest sectors, the financial sector, top three financial sectors in the S&P 500. In sectors, there's industries. So the financial sector, there's 15 industries that I'm aware of. And I'm going to cover several companies in each of those industries so you can see the best performing stocks in those industries. And then you could break it down and see the best performing industries, stocks in the financials. Again, the financial industry, so financial sector is very broad. I'll give you an example. You have banks, you have insurance, you have mortgage, financial data, credit card companies, again, very broad. So we'll start looking at the first, you see here on the top right of the chart, you would name the file name. So first we're going to look at the financial asset management institutions that manage other people's money because they choose to have someone else manage their money. So we're looking at a 1-year chart. Each candle is a week. The first one is BLK, BlackRock Incorporated. Here's the high for the year. So you're going to see this yellow horizontal line. And it'll be labeled here to let you know it's this year's high, 2023. So for the week, red, lower, low, lower, high. Broke below that, showing low. Not that bad. Pretty much at a big consolidation. Look at here from last year. So let's open it for the past 3 years. Yep, huge consolidation. Still inside the range of last year. Next one, Bank of New York Mellon. Here's the high for the year. Look at that. It's in a consolidation here. Yep. In between the range of the high and low of last year. Blackstone made a new high for the year. Outstanding. New high for the year. Amazing. Let's put this back for 3 years. Yep. So still inside the range of last year. But it's a winner because it's way off the lows. So again, this is the financial asset management. They are doing a good job taking the most amount of money from the most amount of people by choice. Some people choose to have other people manage their money for whatever reason. Next, Vesco, India, Victor, Zulu, big and mutual funds. Yep, here's the high for the year. Coming into the low for the year. They're doing bad. Yep. Still inside the range of last year. And T. Rowe Price, Tango Romeo Oscar Victor, Tango Romeo Oscar Whiskey. Here's the high for the year. Here's the low for the year. Look at that, trending down. Yep, still in tight range from last year. Look at all this huge consolidation. Next one is State Street Corporation, Sierra Tango Tango. Here's the high for the year. Massive consolidation. Still inside the range of last year. So overall, they're all inside the range of last year. Majority of them are trending down. Then we have a winner here. Again, Blackstone, new high for the year. Very interesting. Yep. And that's just one industry inside the financial sector, the asset management. So overall, they are not doing the best job managing other people's money. Well, to the next. Banks diversified. JP Morgan, here's the high for the year. Here's the low for the year. This is for 3 years. There we go. Still inside the range of last year. Remember, JP Morgan is huge. Not only do they manage personal people's accounts, business accounts, they also manage states. Some states use them for banking. So if you're an employee, let's say for a county, city, state, of course you have a bank that you're going to get a payroll from with your government entity. Government entities banking, and some of them choose to use big banks instead of local credit unions. So if you're an employee of a state or ever receive a payment from your local government, look to see But on that check, who's it drafted from? What bank they're using? Governors have the authority to change that, I recall. Bank of America, here's a high for the year. Look at that, trending down. Here's a gap that has not been filled yet, very close. Trading below the low of last year. Hotel Sierra Bravo Charlie, look at that, there's a high for the year. Actually green, I went up for the week, so I saw many of them are red, but this is green. Doing better than others. That doing better than last year. Yep. Here's last year. Do retracement. Interesting. Hotel Sierra Bravo Charlie. Next, Whiskey Foxtrot Charlie, Wells Fargo. Here's the high for the year. Let's open this up for 3 years. Not a surprise. Huge consolidation here. Citigroup, oof, inside candle for the week. It didn't know what to do. Indecision. Very close to the lows of the year. Coming into earnings. Yep. Wow. Coming back to that low of last year. That's a struggle. Let's fix this and label that. That's an important level. So that's the low of last year. Oops. That. Here goes 2022. Year low. Okay. So now we're aware of the low of last year. Let's fix this a little bit more. I like to include the first day of the year below. So extend it out. Okay. So I know that whole area represents the low of the year. It's the high of the year. That's city. Next one, Royal Bank of Canada. There's a high for the year. Put it for 3 years. Still in the tight trading range here. So again, this is the financial banks diversified. Again, I mentioned these banks are very diversified. They do a lot of, let's see what they were. Were any of them, none of them made new highs, right? Yep, they're a bad performer. Let's go on to the next. Now we'll go to Financial Banks Regional. USB. Trending down. Poorly. Next one, Hotel Delta Bravo. Huge sell-off this past week. Wow. Not good. Let's put that past 3 weeks, 3 years, I mean. Well, still inside the range of last year, but poor performer. Not good. Tango, Foxtrot, Charlie. Trust Financial Corporation. Here's the high for the year. This huge consolidation most of the year. Way below the low of last year. It's a little insight if you don't follow banks, follow good economic news. This company, Trust Financial Corporation, is two companies, two financial institutions that did a merger acquisition. One of them was BBT. The other was SunTrust. SunTrust being, I recall, our headquarters was in Georgia, and they had big presence in Georgia and Florida. They also had a big equity owning of Coca-Cola out of Atlanta, Georgia. So that bank's earnings of SunTrust would also take in calculation of them owning a huge equity share in Coca-Cola. So like I said, those two companies merged, acquired each other. No longer exist, they became this. It costs money to do merger and acquisition. So typically the company that does the merger, acquiring the other one, has the upfront cost because they're paying for the other company. And they pass that cost on by raising products and services back to you, the customer. And I see many new locations they opened here in the East Coast, Southeast Coast. And they're poor performing here. I've never been in the branches, but I've seen many locations and they're struggling down here. Let's take this back a little bit further. Go to 5 years. Wow. Next, Papa November Charlie. There's a high for the year. Huge inside candle. Yep, they're performing too. India, Bravo, November. Huge consolidation up near the high of the year. Wow, very impressive. So this, I like that. Interesting. I'll show you what I'm looking at here right off the bat. This was a consolidation. More of a consolidation here, break up to the upside. So it's doing staircase pattern higher high. That huge sell-off is not good. Might see a further dump. Not good. Again, it could be an impulse moving over, and then you can have like this impulse move and then a retracement. So it might be the opportunity for me to do bull put spreads on here. It's advanced option strategy. Higher probability of success, but higher margin requirements. Next. Foxtrot, India, Tango, Bravo, fifth, third. There's the high for the year. Wow, they're poor performing. So on this consolidation. So that was financial banks regional. They're not doing good. Not the economy. A lot of it has to do with the leadership in the investment they are choosing to make. You will see that as we continue going lower by looking at, or continue going through by looking at other financials to see how the other ones are performing. Here we go. Capital markets. Morgan Stanley. There's a high for the year. Huge consolidation here. Yep. Huge consolidation. Charles Schwab, big financial broker, recently acquired TD Ameritrade. He's one of my brokers. So there's a high for the year and there's a low for the year. Again, that was a merger acquisition Charles Schwab did. Goldman Sachs. Yep. Goldman Sachs. Let me just verify. Let me share with you. Goldman Sachs is like JP Morgan in size. They're both JP Morgan and Goldman Sachs. They're both on the Dow 30 stock index, but they're not the same kind of financial institution. JP Morgan is very diversified. They even have banks called Chase. Chase banks are owned by JP Morgan. So JP Morgan is much more diversified, where Goldman Sachs is less diversified, but very lean. Goldman Sachs is very lean on its business model and does very well. You could research them and see how they are different from each other in their business models. So again, here's a high for the year. There's a low for the year. Inside candle for the week. Bank of Nova Scotia. Let's look at the 3 years. Wow, they're struggling too. There's a gap that hasn't got filled yet. Interactive Broker, India, Bravo, Kilo, Romeo. Wow, 2 weeks ago, they made a new high for the year. Interesting. I know many people use them to trade their financial instruments. They have a platform and they're a broker. Huge dump. Wow. Made the high of the year 2 weeks ago and then dumps since then. Raymond James Financial. Big consolidation here for the past 3 years. Raymond James Financial, they pay to have their name on a football stadium in Tampa called, the football team's called the Buccaneers. Raymond James pays to have their name on the stadium. So those are the capital markets. I'm not impressed with them. Nope. Let's go on to the next. So these are financial credit services. Like your credit card Visa. Look at that. Made a new high for the year 2 weeks ago. And selling off here still. Look at that. Consolidation, staircase pattern, higher high. Yeah, a lot of chop last year, but much more trending to the upside this year. That's Visa. MasterCard, also 2 weeks ago, new high for the year. So that means more people carrying debt. They're making more money off the interest. Very nice. They're above the high of last year. You go ahead, people. You keep carrying a balance in your credit cards. Live not within your means and help the bigger financial institutions get wealthy. Not good money management for a lot of people. Live within your means. May have to downsize. Still be better than what the people were in the 1930s, better than the people in the 1920s. PayPal, almost near the low of the year. They are in bad shape. PayPal, wow. American Express. Let's look at this for the past 3 years. Tight consolidation there, a lot of chop. Capital One Financial, big dump. That. Discover Financial, new low for the year, loser. Big difference, right? These all offer credit cards, but you have MasterCard and Visa that recently made new highs for the year. First, Discover, PayPal, big difference. Yep. So again, because the market went down, that's why these are selling off. Doesn't mean they're any worse. Yep. So because they are off their highs of the new top of the year, highs of the year, those are the ones I'd be looking to be trading bullish because they're still near the highs of the year. They're just selling off because of the market. Whereas these other ones, they are not good. That's a trading plan for investing. Let's go to the next financial conglomerates. Probably pronounced that wrong. Let's just struggle. Just like it says, conglomerates, they're very diversified and kind of financial stuff. Victor, Oscar, Yankee, Alpha, there's a high for the year. Yep, a lot of chop. Tree, Tango, Romeo, Echo, Echo, new low for the year. It's an old company, been around for a long time. They're a lender. Look at that garbage. Bad shape. Here's another one. Sierra Bravo Hotel Golf Foxtrot. 2 weeks ago, new high for the year. Outstanding. Outstanding. And it didn't have a big sell-off. It's just holding within that prior range there. Ends in the F. That fifth letter. That's a foreign company. A holding company. Might be Japan. Here's another one. Oops. There we go. Let me reopen this. 6. Need to fix something here. Get my house in order. Fix this up. Again, this is the financial conglomerates. And we're looking again at Romeo, India, Lima, Yankee. Right. The past few years, they're struggling. So again, that was the 6th. Let's go on the next. Not impressed with that financial industry. Now we're going data stock exchanges. That is a lot of data, price levels. Your stockbrokers, your commodity brokers, your Forex brokers, your option brokers, they get data from the financial exchanges. And these companies manage a lot of data. Companies pay them. They get a lot of money. Data is used for a wide variety of things. First one, SPGI, S&P Global. Got it? S&P, huge company. S&P, there's a high for the year. That's a big dump. Next one, CME Group, Chicago Mercantile Group. Remember, they are one of the biggest futures exchanges, if not the biggest one in the United States futures exchange. They also years ago did mergers, acquisitions. They bought the CBOT commodity broker options. Yeah, very big. And they also own the NYSE, if I recall. Huge. And they became public. Yep, they just did more and more acquiring. There's a high for the year. ICE, India, Charlie Echo. If I recall, this financial exchange out of Atlanta, Georgia, recently made a high of the year, which is different than CME. Oh, no, CME also recently. Yep. Again, they are doing pretty well. Yep. Moody's, Mike, Charlie, Oscar, big dump. Inside the range of last year. Mike, Sierra, Charlie, India. Wow, they're struggling. There's a high for the year. Couldn't even make that retest stick for 3 years. And the next one. November Delta Alpha Charlie. Sorry, November Delta Alpha Quebec NASDAQ. How can you not know that one? New low for the year. You're struggling. Wow. Interesting. New dump. Huh. You think they're taking a dive because the customer service, the retail customers driving up? Or is it because, again, they're paying a few people too much money of the profits, not living it out fairly? Let's go on to the next. Number 8, financial services insurance brokers. Has your insurance for your home, health, auto gone up this year? This one, Mike, Charlie, new high for the year. Outstanding. Making a lot of money. So, outstanding. Look at that. New high for this year. Broke above the high of last year. Outstanding. It's an insurance broker. I wonder if they're paying good commission to their brokers or not so well. Next one, Alpha Oscar November. Tight consolidation, almost swing high, almost taking out the high of the year. Look at this. Yep, doing very well. Made new high this year versus last year. So the insurance brokers are looking swell. Alpha Indian Golf. New high for the year this week. Outstanding leadership. Outstanding. Wow, new high for the year. Took out those. Outstanding is that. Alpha Golf, Julia. Outstanding. Whiskey Tango Whiskey. Or you can see there's a high for the year. There's a low for the year. Nope, they're doing bad. Bravo Romeo Oscar. Outstanding. Look at that. They're the high of the year. It did take out the high last year too. Outstanding. Echo, Romeo, India, Echo, new high for the year also. Very impressed. Wow. So this is the insurance brokers. And we already see they're one of the better performing industries in the financial sector. Remember, the financial sector I mentioned has 15 industries. The insurance is hot. You're helping them if you're paying more. How do you reduce that premium? Downsize. That's one way. Let's look at the financial assurance diversified. I think that's doing better. And there we go. AIG, there's a high for the year. If you remember the real estate bubble, you should remember AIG. They got a huge bailout. So extend between the high and low of last year still, but much closer to the high this year. So they're doing good. Sun Life Financial, Sierra Lima Foxtrot. Look at the past 3 years. Yep, they're struggling. Hotel India Golf. Wow, huge consolidation for the past 3 years nearly here. Golf, Sierra Hotel Delta, new high for the year. It's still way below the prior 3-year high. Again, they've turned around a lot. So they are doing better than last year from the low. Not the high, but they're coming off way strong from the low. Echo, Quebec Hotel. Yeah, I don't think that's trouble. Makes sense. So that was a dump, consolidation. Looking for that dump to break below here, break below there, even break below there might be the opportunity to go short. Doing bear call spreads if there's options available. So let me, write a few notes on here because it's something I need to, or I don't need to, but I want to. We don't need to do nothing in life. You just make a decision you want to do or not. You want. That's like consolidation. That's a low of it. A break below here may bring in a bunch of new. People shorting, because obviously if it breaks below there, the people who are bullish are dumping. Yeah, let's do this. Let's go back a little bit. There we go. You can even include that one. No, that's fine. Now, short entry. That just tells me when I look at it and set alert. There we go. So when it gets tested, 1 penny below. Oh, let's keep it right there, right on the spot. And let's see if it has options. AQH. I'll check that later. Let's do that together. The liquidity is not so good right off the bat. Nope. Not interested. Research more later. Oscar Romeo India. Wow, outstanding. Made a new high of the year recently there. We already did AIG. Oh, what did I? Okay. So that was the financial insurance diversified. Big difference of what a lot of these are doing here. Let's continue. Whereas the other financial brokers were doing better than the financial insurance diversified. So you see what I'm getting at here? The insurance is the financials are very diversified. Now we're at financial life. Financial insurance life. MetLife. Let's look at the 3 years. Big retracement this year is doing. Coming to that midpoint. Oops. A potential dump. Watching that. Mike Foxtrot Charlie. Yeah, and this is the insurance life. Huge consolidation here. Interesting. Prudential. I did get an alert for that a few days ago. Prudential Financial. There's a high for the year. I drew this Fibonacci level all the way back then. You can watch my prior video. And we were watching it to do a retracement to see if it was going to test the 0.382 or the 0.618. Never touched the 0.618, but it went deep. It went to the 0.382, tested it, and continued going lower low. See that green candle? Did make a lower high, lower low than the prior red candle, and then tested 50%, made a retracement. Made a reversal. And when it does a deep 50% retracement, you got to be concerned that when it goes to take this swing high out, it may break it, may not continue to the upside much further. So that's what happened. It did deeper than a 0.382. So that green horizontal line, that's 0.382. That's a Fibonacci level. From the low there, high there. That green candle, it's like a bullish pin bar. Reversal. The reversal came here. That was nice. It broke above there. That was a good entry right there. And then taking out this swing high, you notice big wicks on the top. That momentum just didn't continue. Yeah, the red candle made a higher high, higher low than the green candle. Seller stepped in, dumped, and deep retracement in that. So the red candle is extremely bearish because it's below midpoint of its own candle. It also tested more than midpoint of that green candle. That's bearish. Let's remove this. Can even load up volume. Give you some education on it, including volume. How volume could be like a CI, what do you call it when the police do a crime scene investigation, CSI? Is that it? Someone help me out. So look at this, that dump all the way back there. Again, each of these are candles for a week. The volume will be here on the left when I hover over it. See that volume? Over 12 million shares. And then you had another dump, 38 million shares, more shares dumped, transferred from one hand to the other. And then you notice this lower low, less shares. Just telling you that there was less distribution down here. So this was the big key one. Again, 12 million. And this would certainly be, I expect these to be retested probably at some point in time. So here, the 12 million plus shares. And this last high up here, 6 million, right? 6 million shares, so half the volume occurred here versus this dump. And here, 9 million. So this here, so much panic selling occurred here. And there's weakness up here. Yeah, it's making higher high in prices, but less buyers up here. And they may be concerned, the same concerns out there. So another thing to look for, make dump coming into earnings. What was that, December? Look here too. This high, 7 million shares. This green share, this green week here, over 9 million. So you had more take it out. That's good. But then here, the 9 million. And then this past week, 6 million. So less buyers are bringing it up here. Interesting. Now look at here. This candle. Because remember that Fibonacci here, we reversed it. Reversed English. 6,588,000 here. Nice impulse move up. That retracement here was bad. Again, you had 6,588,000. You want the retracement on less volume. Or look at this, 7,500,000. So more volume actually tested this low than there. That's concerning. Very concerning. So again, this high here, 7 million plus, 7 million plus, 9 million, 7 million. Yep. Really undecided, not one edge over the other. Not good. Back here, Alpha, Foxtrot, Lima. Well, almost at the high of the year. They're looking good. Nice. Wow, way above the high of last year. Again, the insurance companies, many of them doing good here. Next, Lincoln National. And some of them doing bad. But again, there's certainly a big divergency in the insurance. The winners and losers. Weak. Top of Romeo, India. There's the high for the year. Wow, better performing than it did last year. So I'm noticing, if you're not, I'll share with you, the insurance industries, several of them have some strong leadership. Let's continue. Now we'll go to the financial, insurance, property, casualty. With all these hurricanes, brush fires, and other Mother Nature issues, they must be taking a toll. Charlie Bravo, here's the high for the year. Let's go right to the 3 years. Yep, huge consolidation. Papa Golf Romeo, progressive. Wow, they actually are above the high of last year. Nice. Allstate. Oh, wow, they're below the low of last year. Bad. Mike, Kilo, Lima, new high for the year. Outstanding. Who are they cheating? They're not paying off claims. New high for the year. Wow. I guess the CFO, CEO are going to consider giving themselves bigger bonuses because the stock's higher. You think there'd be equal distribution to that to the insurance premiums they're paying them? Whiskey, Romeo Bravo. Oh, they're struggling. Charlie, India, November. Foxtrot. Yep, they're struggling too. So that's property casualty insurance. Just one of them looking good. And the assurance reinsurance. I like that name. Reinsurance. They're probably doing the derivatives market. Yep. Company could buy insurance on itself in the derivatives market. It could take a hit on one thing and hedge the other way. Romeo Echo. Huge consolidation here, right there off the lows. Romeo November. Romeo. Big consolidation, very choppy. Romeo Golf Echo. Sorry, Romeo Golf Alpha. Next one. Bravo, November, Romeo Echo. Huge dump. I don't think this one has much history. That's No, it's recent. It's a recent company that got listed or merger acquisition. Sierra Papa November Tango coming off the highs of the year. Interesting. Wow, nice. Way above the low of last year. Big recovery they had. Golf Lima Romeo Echo, the high of the year. Current inside candle. It's up strong. Oh, wow. For the past 3 years, look at that. Nice. $11.72. You might consider buy one share. One share you might consider buying. You buy in the dip. So that's the financial service insurance reinsurance. Again, overall, the insurances have many that are looking more impressive, whereas the other industries within the financial. Let's continue. Now the financial service insurance specialty. Do they feel special? Romeo Yankee Alpha November. Again, Romeo Yankee Alpha November. New high for the year. They made this week. Outstanding. Let's go look at 3 years. Also took out the high of last year. Outstanding. They're doing good. Thanks. Foxtrot, November Foxtrot. Way below the high of last year. Not the lead. Alpha India Zulu. Nice. New high for the year right there. Nice. So this year is interesting. They make a new low from prior years, but doing a recovery. Strong up here. Echo Sierra November Tango. Oh, they're selling off already. Alpha X-Ray Sierra. Oh, that's looking bad. Mike Tango Goff. Impressive, way above the highs of the past few years. They're doing good. So that was the insurance specialty. Let's continue. Mortgage financials. Who's carrying a mortgage? Rockets, Romeo Kilo Tango. They recently did a spinoff IPO from a bigger company. And look at that, the high for the year and been dumping since then. Bad. So all the way back there was the IPO, pumped and dump. Let me see if I got more history on it. Let's go back to 5 years. Let's go back further. I don't think it's been that long. Nope. So it was all the way back in 2020 was the IPO. They pumped it up. Since then, it's below IPO garbage. Uniform Whiskey Mike Charlie. I'm surprised we're in the mortgage sectors here. A little bit bad. Papa Foxtrot Sierra India. Wow, impressive. They made a new high for the year, past the last few years. Now they're dumping just because the industry might be. Whiskey Delta. Sure. Echo Charlie Papa Goff. Hopefully I don't have that twice in there. Goff Hotel Lima Delta. Not impressive. I think these two showed up somewhere else too. I need to double check that later. Not good. Let me know if you remember. It's a lot of work. And take it to the last one. Financial service shell companies. What is a shell company? Shell companies is when it's a company and it has a bunch of smaller companies inside it because those smaller companies do not meet the rules, regulations to be listed on their own on a stock exchange in the United States. So they partner with a bigger company. So a bigger company typically be really defined. You have a shell company that might be just technology, shell company that might be just financials. You can look at it as public information. You can see what companies they own. I know a lot of EV companies came to the United States under shell companies. Some from England, some from Vietnam, other ones. So look at this one. Alpha Charlie. New high for the year. $10.74. You might consider picking up one share. Outstanding. Doing better than crypto. It's doing better than Bitcoin. New high for the year. Bitcoin's not. This is buy one stock share. Consider Alpha Lima Charlie Charlie. And they're better than they were last year. Interesting. Bravo Foxtrot Alpha Charlie. They're all performing better than they were last year. Wonder what kind of a pump and dump they're doing. Echo Oscar Charlie Whiskey. New high for the year almost, just a few pennies away. And $10.40. Outstanding, better than last year. Nike, November, Foxtrot Yankee Sierra. And another one, $10.60. Look at that, higher than last year. They're probably then they traded. Tango Romeo, Tango Lima. $11.21. So again, most of these here are showing the new highs of the year in the prior 3 years. You might consider picking up one share of each of these if you want to spend that kind of money instead of eating out for a week or a day, or cut back on some coffees. And look, opportunity. You can make your own index. You can buy one of each of these. They're each around $10. So you could buy 6 of them. And then you have an index of 6 different shell companies, financial shell companies. And then the ones that continue doing good, you might consider doing dollar cost averaging. First, the ones that are performing weaker, you dump them and you keep adding to the better one. And you set a target price, a reality target price. Again, these can become unlisted too. So we just looked at 15 industries in the financial sector. Again, the financial sector, I share with you, is the 3rd largest sector in the S&P 500. Financial sector makes up 13.7 of the S&P 500. So again, you saw how diversified the financial sector is. We see where the money's flowing into and out of. If you don't want to do these individually, there's a stock ETF. Yep, a stock ETF that represents the big companies in the financial sector. That's XLF right there, XLF. You often see me discuss that in the sector videos. So there we are looking at past 3 years, and it dumped too. Yep, that's the stock. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching.